Of all the radio pioneers in Canada, Red Robinson is unique. During his nearly 60-year career, he's been honored by the Canadian Association of Broadcasters, the province of British Columbia, the city of Vancouver, and many others. While still in high school in the mid-1950s, Red was playing rock and roll on the radio long before anyone else in Canada. And it all began when Red was only 16.
I had a special pass to get out early, like at 2:45, which I really went over well with all my classmates, like, hey. But I'd go downtown and go on the air in a major market, which was unusual, and play my music, because when I say my, all the kids at school, at the hops and everything else, were still dancing because the teachers picked the music out. We were dancing to Glenn Miller and his orchestra. But this little place called the Oakway, which was at the corner of Oak and Broadway, they had a jukebox there. You know, in those days you could put a nickel in or a dime and you could hear a song. I would play songs by Lloyd Price, Winona Harris, Ruth Brown, and the guy used to, knowing that I loved music, he used to give me them after so many plays, they'd replace them. So when I got into radio, I took those with me and I started playing them.
Red's radio show on CJOR became successful because he was a teenager playing the music that other teens wanted to hear. But there was one small problem.
In Canada at that time, if a record came out in the U.S., let's say a Sun record, it would be on quality in Canada. But the time they took the masters, cut them there, and shipped them out here, I could be across the border. So I made a deal with a little record company there called Stark Music. And I would go down and I'd phone and say, put these aside for me. And I'd pick them up and bring them across the border and start playing them on the air, which drove the major record companies insane.
After 3 years at CJOR, Red moved to Vancouver's top 40 giant CKWX, which is where he met and became friends with many artists, including a kid from Memphis, Tennessee.
Before Elvis, no one ever rented a stadium. No one. He was booked here in August 1957, August 31st, and they selected me to MC it. There are 26,500 people there. But Elvis and I are in the Lions football club dressing room, and he's pacing up and down. He said, I got an idea. So he goes to the door, and there's 2 policemen there. That's all that was guarding him. And he said, anybody got a pair of handcuffs? Okay. He comes back in and he says, Red, we're going to do a scene from Jailhouse Rock, which was going to come out in a couple of months. And I said, oh, okay, what do I do? He said, I want you to step up here and put your hands over that shower rod. And he handcuffs me to the rod, and he throws the key into the shower. I'm going, what? And he gets down on all fours, and he's looking for the key. Finally, he goes to the door and gets a cop, and the 2 of them are looking for the key. And while I'm hanging up there by this, he comes back, he found the key, and he says, well, you know, I found it, Red, but I'm glad I did. Otherwise, I'd have to go out and introduce myself because you're all tied up.
Of all the recording artists Red has interviewed, which one stands out the most?
Well, I think Buddy Holly. It was because we were the same age. We were both full of life and loved what we were doing. And you don't forget that. He credited me with breaking That'll Be the Day.
Well, that'll be the day when you say goodbye. Yes, that'll be the day when you make me cry. You say you're gonna leave. You know it's a lie, 'cause that'll be the day when I die.
Red's success in Vancouver did not go unnoticed in the U.S. In 1959, he was made an offer he couldn't refuse.
I'm sitting here with a 50% audience share on radio. But Mrs. Bullitt, Dorothy Bullitt, who owned King Broadcasting, she owned a whole chain of radio and TV combos. And she said, I'd like you to come and work for me in Portland, Oregon. We're going to convert the station to rock and roll. And we're aware of what you've done in Vancouver. And I said, well, why would I leave what I've got here to go to Portland? She said, because I've heard that you want television experience, and we own a TV station. I said, fine. She said, American Bandstand's on. Why don't we follow it with Portland Bandstand? And then she said, here's what we're offering you, $22,000. I mean, the Prime Minister made 11 in those days. It was unbelievable. So how long did it take me to say yes? Yes.
After Red returned to Vancouver in the early 1960s, his television experience in Portland gave him the opportunity to host several television shows, including one featuring Canadian musicians.
Credit should go to CBC in those days. They followed the mandate to the letter. They had a show called Music Hop. We called ours Let's Go, and then they converted all the others to Let's Go. And it went Monday through Friday across the country. Alex Trebek hosted one of them, Dave Marsden, and myself. What a great national program to expose talent. And on there, I brought on Bobby Taylor into Vancouver and a guitar player that played loud, and Bobby Taylor fired him, called Jimi Hendrix. They would appear on the show. The Poppy Family with Terry Jacks. It gave all of these young, aspiring musicians a showcase for their talents. It was unbelievable. That ran 63 through 68, I think. It was an amazing time.
The year was 1964, and the Beatles were appearing at Empire Stadium during their only Vancouver concert. Red was the MC. The crowd was surging closer and closer to the front of the stage, and panic was setting in. Red was told by management to go out and calm down the crowd. While he was walking on stage in the middle of the Beatles' performance, Red says John Lennon shouted at him to
Get the f*** off our stage. No one interrupts a Beatles show.
There are only 3 Canadian radio personalities that have been honored by the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland. Red Robinson is one of them.
It was an amazing experience. We had disc jockeys from all over America, 3 Canadian guys. I got it because I was one of the original pioneers.
Red Robinson is still playing the music he loves on the radio, and throughout all his many successes and accolades, he remains grateful and humble.
I had a wise Irish, I call him a street philosopher, grandfather. And he used to say to me when I got my first award as the disc jockey of the Pacific Northwest in 1955. And I'm sitting there with him, and he just looked at me and he said, you know, son, this is wonderful, but I want you to remember something. Honor seeks the man does not seek the honor. And that told me. And it's wonderful. Wonderful to have this theater. But I've always loved my work. And I've never gotten up a day not wanting to go to work. Even now at this age, I can't wait to go in and do something. And if you love what you do, it isn't going to work every day. It's the total exercise that you love. And I've been that way all my life.